there, families, it's time to gather around your television set as it's time for KINZ and KLOMP with Mitch Wilson. Local people, local news, local stories, and a bunch of other stuff. It's time for KINZ and KLOMP.
Hey,
all right.
We're back here. It's a Sunday, January the 17th, 2021. And I do believe this is episode number 8. It's KINZ and KLOMP. I'm KINZ. Guy with the hat is KLOMP. How you doing there, Jamie?
I'm doing very well. Of course, because of two things, KINZ. First of all, my Buffalo Bills. Amazing.
I can't believe it. They've strung together a win where, I'm sure there's people probably pulling out bandsaws right now, chopping people's fingers off because usually the Bills always lose that game, but they actually won it. Can you take us through that one?
Well, there we go. The Bills, we got many years of losing and disappointment and heartbreaks, but we're finally there. We're going to win the Super Bowl. So that's the good news. The bad news is I have a bit of a foot injury and I've been stumbling around the house the last few days. And I learned a lesson from my kids, KINZ, and it's take advantage of everything. So I've been getting served coffees and breakfasts and lunch and tucked into bed and fluffed up pillows. So even though my foot is sore, I'm loving life right now.
You're loving the pampering from your other half, Terry. Terry probably says, she's probably looking forward to when that foot is fixed. To you can go back and maybe return the favor, but it is nice, and it's nice to have your other half there to help you get through. Because we're going through live. If you hadn't told me that there was something wrong, that you were going through throbbing pain, look at you. We're still doing a podcast, and you wouldn't even tell that you were injured.
There we go. Well, sometimes you got to fake the smile when you're in pain for the love of entertainment, right?
That's right. But we've got the big show tonight. Wanted to do a shout out to our trivia spot. We've got a big trivia night coming up on Thursday, 7:00, and we're adding to the list as we go. If you look at the bottom of our screen here of the podcast, you'll find out some of the donations that have come in thus far. I'll go through Typer's Bait and Tackle up in Hearst. Christelle has donated 2 $50 gift certificates to Typers up on Front Street in Hearst. So $100 from them. Elite Geeks, Chad Dubanow has donated a $50 entertainment package, which is good for retro gameplay. You can also use it for the virtual reality. And also $50 off a birthday, your next birthday, obviously when COVID loosens the restrictions. Radical Gardens, shout out to Brianna Humphrey. She donated a $100 gift certificate to Thursday's show. In just about 5 minutes before we jumped on here tonight, Spoiled Rotten.
Yes.
And Melissa Lamarche has donated a $100 gift certificate to Spoiled Rotten for Thursday night show. So thumbs up to our sponsors,
yes,
which just keeps growing.
Love you all. So Thursday night, this coming Thursday, there's going to be 20 questions about Timmins and the community, and you can win some awesome prizes, and it's going to be a pretty fun show, and it's free to join. So cool. But we have something else to give away tonight, right? Yes,
we do.
It's this ice scraper. So you're an infomercial guy.
I'm an infomercial geek, as people say. When something cool pops up, it's usually, hey, I need to get that. And I saw these scrapers, and I've seen them now for the past few Christmases. And I said, you know what? I'm actually going to, click the link and see how good these scrapers are. I've actually got one here in the video, these things. Okay.
I can do something better. I have video of you using it. Watch this.
So here we are. If you remember on one of the episodes for KINZ and KLOMP, I ended up telling you I'm an infomercial sucker, and I got this thing. Have you seen this thing on TV? Or on Facebook news feeds? Anyhow, this thing is supposed to scrape the window better than any brush. So I figure with today's snowfall, we're going to try it. We asked if it was going to work on the show, and we don't know. I'm sure it's going to work, right? But is it going to work as easy as what you've seen on Facebook? So here we go. There it is. They say this thing. So far, so good. Look at that. Maybe they can sponsor the KINZ and KLOMP podcast. I got suckered into 3 of them. That is not bad. Takes off some of the ice. Even takes the snow out of the way. There you go. I don't even know what they call them. I'm that much of an infomercial sucker. I saw it on Facebook and I said I needed to get one. And the funny thing is they sent me 3. Maybe we should give one away on our podcast. So there you go. Not bad.
Okay. Can I say something right off the bat? That was very aggressive ice scraping.
Okay.
But the material must be good because it lasted. So all people have to do is subscribe to our YouTube page, our new YouTube page, at KINZ and KLOMP, and we're going to draw it at the end of the show, right?
Someone's going to win one of those tonight, and no matter where you are, we can deliver it. If you're within the city limits, we'll deliver it to you. But again, there was one comment saying if I want it, I guess they're not here to pick it up, but we can ship this.
Yeah, well, my buddy Brad out in BC says it's just ripping through the ice. So
it's a good tool, you know what? And that was the first try. I said, you know what? You see it on TV, they make it look so effortless.
Yeah,
I was actually using because I'm right-handed, trying to hold the camera and making sure everything's right. I'm thinking, am I putting enough pressure? I had to put a little bit more pressure. Obviously, the Facebook video, it looks like they're not really. It looks like the snow is not really caked onto the window, but I actually had to do some scraping. You could hear it there, and the ice came off. And a thumbs up to I think it's called the cone scraper. So if you want to win it, subscribe over on YouTube.
So Jose's, she's very excited. She asks, "Is this the circle scraper?" She found out it is. Yes. So I think she's on the top of the list. She might be the winner tonight. Who knows? You got to stay tuned to the end of the show, right?
And I should say, and also there's a little piece. You can see that little inner circle here. You take that off if you ever needed a gas funnel. It actually transforms into a gas funnel and an ice scraper. I just found that out tonight. So there you go.
Okay, so let's get into some local news. Charlie Angus made the news. He won an award, right?
He won a pretty good award. The parliament. Am I saying this right? The Parliamentarian Awards of the year happened, and they were presented to 3 Conservatives, 2 Liberals, 2 Greens, and 1 NDP MP. The big winner for the biggest jobs in Ottawa, and Charlie Angus picked up the Best Mentor Annual Award, which is a pretty good little milestone for Charlie here in the in the area.
Okay, well, you want to hear from Charlie?
Let's hear it from him.
All right.
Hey everyone, it's Charlie Angus. I got to say, wow, so surprised and what an honor to receive this. To be the mentor for this parliament. So I'll keep it short. I'll give you a few mentoring tips I picked up over the years. Number 1. Never forget who sent you here and why. Because I know after 6 months, some people think, hey, they got here because of their incredible skill or their vision for the nation. No, people sent you here to do a job, which is to be their voice. Never forget that. It's a real honor to be the voice for people who have no voice in the halls of power. And at the end of the day, they're going to send you home and send someone else in your place. And that too is good and okay. So that leads me to my second point, which is that the parliamentary system is by its nature partisan and oppositional. You owe your party that bond of loyalty. But don't ever be a sock puppet for the political operatives in the leader's office. Don't trade on your integrity, because that's what you bring to this parliament, and it's what will get you through. Which leads me to point number 3, which is invest in the Karma Bank. Why is that? Well, because every member of parliament at some point in their career is going to say something really stupid or do something really dumb. But if you've been someone with integrity, if you do your work, if you're seen as someone trying to be fair, and you haven't become a pompous jerk, when you need to make that withdrawal from the Karma Bank, it will be there. And finally, I want to say, for all its tawdry nature and its shoddy actions sometimes, Parliament matters. Democracy matters. And it is a real honor to be here. So work on your skills. Find an area of expertise that maybe nobody else has. Be a voice for your people. And at the end of the day, to be able to say that you served the people of Canada, well, that's an incredible thing, an incredible gift to be able to say and to have. So that's my tips for mentoring. I look forward to seeing everybody back in the house very soon. So take care. Thank you. Merci. Miigwech.
All right. Congratulations to Charlie. Now, we all have apps. We all have our smartphones. We know Mitch. Mitch has a very old smartphone. It's like from 15 years ago, but he still has apps. But you found this crazy story about this amazing app called What 3 Words?
Yes, What 3 Words, and it's spelled what with the actual number 3 words. And this app actually saved someone's life when they got lost. It's they say there's an app for everything, and there is an app if you are lost, you have just a tad bit of strength on your phone. This is how they found this person. So let me just read, pardon me looking down here on my papers. An avid hiker, Isabel Klassen, says she never thought she'd get lost in the woods. She's actually from British Columbia with the air, she says, was a few degrees below freezing. 21-year-old from Grand Bend residence, just outside of where's Grand Bend? Out near Hamilton. Anyhow, the Grand Bend area in I think Bruce County, in that area. She set out to Pinery Provincial Park January the 7th for a hike. And it was her first time to the park. She previously lived in Alberta, thinking that, you know what, maybe I'm a half-decent avid hiker. She became turned around and lost, and was instructed by the OPP. She phoned saying to the OPP, first of all, I'm lost. And then the OPP said, you know what, there's an app called, What 3 Words. So she downloaded the app, had just enough strength, and the words that she was instructed to download through the app basically essentially saved her life. And the way the app worked, the words she was asked to type in, insists, duos, and bristled. Those were the words she typed into the app. And then the OPP found her about half an hour later with the ping, which narrows it down to, they say, I'm just trying to find here, the GPS within a 3-meter coded square out of a 1 in 57 trillion square grid, Jamie. That's how they zeroed in on this poor girl who could have been lost, but thanks to What 3 Words, which apparently comes in 40 different languages, she found that. Apparently it's available in our app stores right now. What 3 Words?
Maybe they could have used that to find that Malaysia flight that went missing years ago. But I need an app like, where are my keys? Or can I sleep in? Or would the dog stop barking? So once they have those apps, Kinsman, you bring it right on the show, and I'll be the first subscriber. Okay. We all have kids that go to school, especially when they're getting on and off the school bus. We noticed in some area in Ontario, Mattawa, I believe, that they are providing free cameras for the school buses, especially to track down the drivers that avoid the stop sign. I thought they were on all buses and should be free all the time. But so what's happening in Mattawa?
Well, here's what's going on. Mattawa is the first community in Ontario to have cameras on school buses collecting evidence for the police, and it's free. The free system is available to any municipality that wants to jump on the bus patrol bandwagon. And there's no cost to anybody. This is coming in from the chairman of the app, or actually Pierre Ranger, the chairman of the Let's Remember Adam campaign that has advocated for safer student transportation for most of the past 2 decades. Where the camera companies make their money is they take advantage off the fines and a percentage off the fines. And of course, Adam Ranger, Pierre's brother, was 5 years old when his little brother was killed February in 2000 while crossing Highway 17 in and around the Mattawa area to return home from school. The driver didn't stop despite the flashing red lights and the stop sign extended on the bus. And the Ranger family celebrated what would have been his 26th birthday this past Tuesday, and announcing the town of Mattawa's partnership with Bus Patrol. And again, they get paid through the fines through anybody blowing past a bus. And my question is, you would think buses would have been equipped, a lot sooner, between, 2000 and now, but it's just happening now.
I think the old-fashioned form is working. If someone blows by a stop sign on a bus, they get the old-fashioned beat down from the dad.
I think so. You get that. I know a lot of the bus drivers here, they throw their disgust on, Facebook posts saying, this person blew past the bus, horns blaring. But, it's as silly as it is, people just aren't paying attention when it comes to driving to and from school, especially through school zones. Maybe looking down at their coffee, looking down at, a notification when you're not really supposed to be even looking at your smartphones. There's distractions, and a lot of people are distracted when it comes to, buses. But I like the bus patrol program.
So we have a couple comments on that app you were talking about. Check out Be My Eyes. That's probably another app. That's pretty cool. Like, there's all this awesome technology that's out there that I had no idea. And I thought I was a connected guy, but I guess I'm not.
not that connected, but it's nice to know that, we're they say help is at the tip of your fingertips. Mm-hmm. And in that poor hiker, in that case, 3 words away from being found. And again, a 1 in 57 trillion, it'll narrow it down. And they said those 3 words would never be picked. And 1 in 57 trillion from hackers. They would actually know exactly where you were within a square meter, which is pretty darn cool for technology.
Oh, okay. We got some clarification. Be My Eyes is for the blind. It connects to millions of sighted people. That is pretty awesome. That is really cool. Oh, thank you very much. This must be your friend, right, Mark? Bruce Johnson?
Bruce Johnson, yes.
Let's get together during the next Leafs versus Sens. I know what he's saying. Is he a Sens fan?
He's I think he's a Toronto fan.
Oh,
Bruce is a Toronto fan. I've been a fan all my life. I've been, going through the heartaches in 67 like everybody else, obviously since 78 to now. But still, this is our year. We always say it's our year, and this is our year.
That's right. And Danielle commented in once again about the bus and the cameras. Sad the buses need cameras, but so happy to hear about this partnership. Absolutely agreed. Unfortunate that they do, but they do. And I think this will hopefully help decrease how much that's happening. So
I like that. And, thumbs up to, the municipality of Mattawa for, taking the reins and, steering that bus program. Hopefully more buses, catch on with this, especially if you're going to take a bit of the percentage from the fine. It's a win-win situation for everybody and hopefully a safer commute for all of us. Okay.
So last week we talked about my lack of skill set fishing, and I was recommended to say, here, fishy. So I don't know if I'm going to do that, but nonetheless, here's another thing I don't do too often. And if I wish I did, was hop on a skidoo. I don't have one. Now I've been thinking, because the weather's been so good here this winter, what do the skidoo trails look like? Are they bare? I know we have a little bit of snow, but is this enough? What do you know?
Not that much in comparison to, years past. My Facebook post from years ago. We're usually shoulder deep in snow. We don't know where to put the snow, but yeah, a lot of the trails, the OFSC trails right now, they opened up, I do believe, just over 6,900 trails as of Saturday, as of yesterday. But again, a lot of red. Seeing a lot of trail, skidoos, even in around our area, but a lot of the trails here are red. A couple of yellow out in Iroquois Falls area. And if you want the better trails, you'd have to go a little further north. Cochrane area has some green available trails. But the red, if you're on the OFSC trail, the website, I think it's OFSCEVtrails.com. The red is bad or closed and not available. Yellow is limited. So there's some limited through Iroquois Falls. And again, the green is the further north you go, a little bit better for the trails.
You know a lot of things about a lot of things, Kinsman.
I certainly do. As people say, useless knowledge, but in this case, it's very useful knowledge. Having all the knowledge that I've gathered and picked up over the years. I've been here over a decade. 12. This is my 12th year here in the fine city of Timmins.
Okay, this is I just dropped my phone. I was going to do one more topic, but I know that you've been in Timmins for many years and you're known as the voice of Timmins, but we have our guest coming on who's also a big staple mark in Timmins. And
Yes.
I want to bring him on right now. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes, Guy Lamarche put
Let's
in
bring him in.
1-year career. There he is.
Hey guys.
Guy, how you doing? Technology has brought us to our COVID-friendly podcast here for KINZ and KLOMP, and you're our first guest, Guy, of 2021.
I'm tickled pink, and listen, happy to be here, and congratulations to the two of you for launching this new media platform. I've been following it. Great content, great format, two great hosts. I can't say enough about the guest segment. And I've got to say, I really enjoyed your visit at the Broski's and Golden Crust Bakery. The on-site report was to me very much alike the Doors Open program that the province does every year. It brought us in the back 40s and gave us an intimate look at how things are done. So a whole new perspective. So again, congratulations to the two of you.
And a little stat there, Guy. You going way back before your 41-year career, being the manager of tourism and events here in the city of Timmins, you worked at Golden Crust, but it wasn't called Golden Crust back in the day. Can you take us back to the day? And do you have the recipe? Did they erase your brain for the honey dip donuts?
I do, but I've been sworn to secrecy. So if I share, they kill me.
Mark Durapo is hopping on right now. He's like, Guy, you better not give away the honey dip secrets, because
I was on the honey dip fryer, and of course the honey dipping for a couple of years after school and weekends forever, and then from there I went to university, and I just couldn't get the smell of these tasty donuts out of my pores. It lingered forever. So that's a true story. Can't make that up.
Maybe if we gave Guy the ice scraper, he would give us the recipe.
Yeah, there we go. Is that worth a honey dip donut?
We can chat after we're off air. Might have a deal there.
But talking to some of the ladies that were lined up while we were doing our Dabrowski's live before Christmas, they said that they've tried the honey dip donut, where people try to, I guess, mimic what Golden Crust can provide for a donut, and they say it just doesn't compare. These ladies saying that they've been eating these donuts for 35, 40 plus years, and the best donuts for honey dip is at the corner of Wilson and Preston.
Yeah, bar none. I would agree with that for sure.
So I have a question. I've been in part of the Timmins community since about 2007, coming from Thunder Bay. In any community that you live in, you often hear there's nothing to do in this X city where I live. I find that everywhere, which I don't, I blanketly disagree in Timmins in this community. There is definitely a lot of hidden treasures. Sometimes you have to dig, and sometimes they're absolutely out there. But I know you played a large role in bringing events and entertainment and promoting this community. So are there a couple of events or projects that you worked on that you're particularly proud of?
Well, the one that really stands out is probably the Great Canadian Kayak Challenge and Festival. And for you, Jamie, you may not necessarily have all of the background with respect to that particular event, but it started off in the context of the city's centennial celebrations back in 2007, 8, 9, 10, and 11. The city of Timmins celebrated 4 centennial milestones. And so then Clerk Jack Watson and I got our heads together and said, why don't we plan an event that will utilize the Matagami River, a river that's played such a huge role in our development and who we are today. So the Kayak Challenge was born. It was a one-day event. It was supposed to come to an end with the end of the centennial celebrations, but here we are 11 or 12 years later, and it's still going strong. It's won all kinds of provincial awards for being in the top 100 category, and the rest is history, as they say. A big thanks goes out to the corporate community. They've been behind that event for all those years, and the momentum kept growing from one year to the next, and it became a fairly big event, from a one-night event on a Friday night to a 3-day jam-packed full-out festival. The other one would be the Summer Concert Series, which was another one that came as a result of the Summer Concert Series, and it's one Mark is very familiar with, having emceed it on more than 1 year. But that one there, took a life of its own. It was supported generously by the corporate community as well, and it brought out a whole lot of different people every Wednesday night. And by and large, based on the surveys that we did every week and the people that we saw coming to that park, I knew that a lot of people there, for them, that was the closest thing to a vacation that they would probably have. And the same could be said of the kayak challenge. I mean, it was no admission, and it was a fairly big program, right? So for me, those are the two big events that stand out in the city of Timmins in terms of what my department led over a number of years.
Yeah, very cool. And I have attended those events. If you have to think moving forward, and I know that you're retired, but you're still very much connected to the city, is there any suggestions on how we move forward, how we enhance these events? What is the next step for Timmins to move forward?
Well, I think the big step in the game changer, if you will, is the fact that we are now in a position to collect a municipal accommodations tax, something that was legislated by the provincial government a couple of years ago, and something that City Council embraced. Based on the work that I did on that particular file, the city will be collecting between $700,000 and $1 million per year, 50% maximum of which will go to the city. The other 50% is going to go to a not-for-profit, in this case, the Timmins Economic Development Corporation. And that money will be divvied up by an investment committee looking for projects that could use a leg up. And so, for example, when you look at Rock on the River, another big project, a big festival for the city of Timmins, maybe they will submit an application, and if they're lucky enough, possibly get the dollars required to buy a stage, eliminating the need to rent a stage annually. And let's face it, once you've acquired some festival assets, those can be shared among different groups. And I'll give you a perfect example of this. Through the work that we did at the committee level for the kayak challenge, we were able to leverage some government funds that allowed us to buy bleachers and buy some docks and buy some 3-person vessels, etc. And consequently, we've been able now to loan to people like Snowcross and people like Rock on the River, the small stage, some of the bleachers. And so, we're sharing that wealth. And because we're able to share that wealth, all of a sudden you had a number of new festivals being enhanced and coming online like never before. Another one is the Fall Fair. That particular fair has never been as big as it is now, and a lot of the credit goes to those that are handling the minute details that come with these festivals, but also the fact that they have an inventory of festival assets that they can use from year to year, minimizing the need to raise those additional funds.
Now, in your 41-year career, Guy, talking about some of the best events that maybe you had a hand on the stoker in the fire, is there one event that sticks out as the foremost, the top of the list for you in 41 years? What would it be?
There is, and it played out for 2 consecutive years, and that is obviously Stars and Thunder. Notwithstanding the fact that this particular festival divided the community of Timmins in a big way, it also served to unite us in a way like the likes never seen before. I remember people telling me that on Canada Day during the first year of Stars and Thunder, there was never as much pride as what people saw in the city of Timmins. The number of visitors during the week of Stars and Thunder was surreal. I mean, I remember reviewing the map that showed where all of the ticket sales originated, and there were people from all over coming here. And not only did the festival attract a whole bunch of new people that had never been here and probably come back every year to do other things, but it also served to galvanize and unite a whole bunch of past residents. And this became a huge homecoming of sorts for the week that was the first Stars and Thunder. It's really unfortunate that it divided the community years two, and consequently it was shelved. That should never have happened, but it is what it is. I'm not here to debate whether it was right or wrong for the city of Timmins to walk away from this, but I am simply saying that for me, that was one big event that certainly put the city of Timmins on the map. I remember giving provincial stakeholders, networks, tourism networks, a bit of an update whenever we met on what was happening in the city of Timmins in the context of Stars and Thunder. And I've got to tell you, people had a difficult time understanding and believing that the city of Timmins was going forward with as big of an agenda as we were. So that was a big moment for me personally.
Yeah, very cool. Now I have a different type of question. So before I knew Mark as the voice of Timmins. And before I knew you as someone as one of the big time leaders of our community. So my question would be, if we had to put up a poll between yourself or Mark Kinsman, who would be Mr. Timmins?
I'd have to say Guy.
That's a really good question. I don't know. I think Mark and I are probably equally well known.
Mm-hmm.
Mark probably has more charisma than Guy will ever have. Hence the reason why Mark is hosting with you, Jamie. So I don't know. Let's not do the poll.
Let's have a phone poll, maybe on our Facebook, because we are live. Comments come in real time. Let's ask the question. Let's have some fun between now and the end of tonight's show. Well,
I don't know about you, Mark, but my wife will tell you that the worst thing for her is when I tag along on a grocery run.
Okay.
Because what should be a 20-minute initiative becomes an hour and a half because that many people want to chat. Going to the beer store sometimes is a tough call because everybody in that line wants to chat and talk about my career in tourism, talk about some of my recent health issues or what have you. So I'm very well known in the city of Timmins, as you are. For sure.
But if I was going to be a commenter, I would vote for Guy. I think Guy, just your 41 years, your presence here in the city is a big footprint. It's got to be a big footprint for people, taking over the reins from you because you're just recently retired. Do you still have a hand in what happens from here on in? Do they still ask you for some advice, Guy?
I've stayed away from the day-to-day operations, if you will. I've kept a finger and a thumb in the tourism pie, as a volunteer on certain organizations. It's my way of giving back for the great career that I had been given, for that 41 years. I was very lucky. I mean, how many jobs do we know that'll allow you to go canoeing, kayaking, go to festivals, organize festivals, pick out bands, get up close and personal with some of the artists that you're bringing in? I mean, I've had a very, very colorful and generous career. So my way of giving back, I'm serving the rest of my term as chair of Attractions Ontario.
Okay.
And then I'm automatically going to become their past chair. So a minimum of 2 more years there. I continue to serve the province of Ontario in my capacity as a member of the Northern Committee for Destination Ontario. I was recently asked, and I agreed to the appointment with Destination Northern Ontario, where I currently serve that organization as a director. So that's my way of keeping busy and my way of keeping a finger in the tourism pie, so to speak.
Now, there was a rumor swirling, Guy. I thought we could bring it up on the podcast, Jamie. Someone was saying that you might be a good fit to run for office. Is that running for mayor? Is that a rumor? Are you considering maybe doing something like this, or what is it?
Let me clear the air here a bit. Definitely a rumor.
Okay.
A rumor that I've heard repeatedly as well. I've had an awful lot of people come out via Facebook Messenger and other platforms encouraging me to run, whether that be municipal or provincial or federal. But let's make one thing clear. 2022, 2023, and 2024 are a long way out. Based on some of the health issues that I overcame in the last year and a half, I kind of live now for one day at a time. I don't, I'm enjoying retirement right now. That's where I'm at. I won't say never, because never is a long time, but I will say that today, right now, as we speak, it's certainly not on my radar. It's certainly not in my wheelhouse. I'm very humbled by the chit chat and the chatter, but for now, no, I have no plans of running as we speak today.
Like, it must make you feel good, seeing, if someone were to consider you, you probably wouldn't even need a resume or votes. Here you go, Guy. Here's the gavel, and we'll see you at the next council meeting, right?
As much as I'd like to think that it would go down that way, I'm a little more in tune, and given the miles that I've traveled, I think I'd have to work just as hard as, if not harder than, the next guy in order to make that cut. But I don't, for now, it's not even on the table for me anyways. And the other big hurdle with this is my wife. I mean, poor Nicole has had to endure an absentee husband for many, many years. I remember during my year in the regional tourism organizations that I served, leaving Timmins in early January and coming back here in April after having done a tour of duty of sorts, attending all these sports and travel shows. So to become a provincial or a federal member of parliament would be a tough sell, I think, for my wife. Yeah, I'm not sure that she's ready to spend any more time alone here.
Well, you are getting a lot of nice comments online. They're already saying Guy for mayor. I'll make it, if you decide to run for mayor or any other position in office, can you make us a deal? You'll announce it first on this show.
Deal.
There we go.
Deal.
That's all we can ask for at this point.
Definitely. But, looking at Danielle's comment, wishing you all the best, Guy. You deserve the rest and relaxation now. I think Lee's comment earlier that just popped up. She says, yes, Guy for mayor. There it is.
Thanks, Lee's
carrier. So you've got a lot of love. As they say, you never want to burn a bridge in any industry or any profession that you do, and your bridges are still intact. If you ever wanted to cry, I'm sure there's probably endless things that people would offer you if you
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, Mark. I've turned down a couple of job offers already. I'm looking at a memorandum of understanding with a marketing company from down south to do some product development here up north. I'm in no rush. Again, I'm thoroughly enjoying my retirement. I used to be a workhorse. I'd be the guy that would show up at 7 in the morning every day, all the time, to get his day organized, even though nobody else would start till 8:30, and I was the last guy out, because I approached my job with a lot of passion, and I wanted to see the results. Tourism was not always an easy sell in Northern Ontario, and that includes Timmins. I mean, I had to fight every step of the way to make a case for tourism, and frankly, I get upset and I get sick and tired of hearing people from time to time say, you know what, we're just a mining camp. There's nothing here but the forest and the mines. You know what? Not true. Not true. And I'm going to tell you something else. My father was an underground miner for 25 years, and he was the biggest promoter of the city of Timmins for all things other than mining. Back then, I remember attending festivals with my father, mining-related festivals. And my dad would always leave in the fall for his annual Florida trip. And his first stop before leaving and after he gassed up was a visit to my office to pick up some lure guides, because he would promote, you know, our quality of life all the way through that winter vacation, hoping that people would come here and discover a little bit of who we are and what we have to offer. And to your point, Jamie, you're absolutely right. We have so much here happening all the time, things that we take for granted. This city is not just hockey, and it's not just conventions. It's the great outdoors and more. That's who we are, and that's what we have. We have 4 predictable seasons. We have a predictable winter. We are recognized as a snowmobile destination in North America, and people come here and Cochrane and other northern municipalities to drop some big coin. Yeah, sports tourism is important, but we cannot accommodate much more than what we're already accommodating. We need more bricks and mortar, not only on the sports tourism side, but also on the meeting and convention side. How many conventions did we forego bidding on because we just couldn't accommodate? So there's an opportunity here and one for growth.
Well, you've definitely earned a lot of respect in the community. Just looking at Jody's comment, it was a pleasure working with you, Guy. I already said, she's already told you, I guess you should run for office, Jody Bishop. He knows the North and rallies for our communities. You rock. So you do have a lot of
thanks, Jody.
Yeah, a lot of pride.
Is northern, or actually, what was Danielle's comment there?
Danielle's comment is Northern strong, Northern pride.
And we've got B-Rad Brick there. Northern Ontario is beautiful all over from Lake of the Woods and onward. You know, can't be.
You know what, guys? It's going to get better with this pandemic. There's going to be a new normal, and we are going to be on the receiving end of a lot of what's going to be new, and that is a lot of people from your bigger markets who have traditionally gone to U.S. markets for vacations or other big Canadian markets are going to be looking north, and look no further than the last year of sales on the leisure front. They've been record sales for RVs, for side by sides, for ATVs, for canoes, for kayaks, for boats, for snowshoes. People want to connect with their families, and they want to do that connection in the outdoors.
Outdoors, yes.
We're in a very good position to market what we have here right now.
Andrew Wilson, Guy needs to be in Ottawa promoting the North, a great voice for the North.
And there's Jose Durapo, the other half of Mark Durapo and Dabrowski's. And Golden Cross, she says, I lived in Southern Ontario for 16 years, moved back to my home community because it does have some special touches. Thanks again, Jose, for that comment.
That's right.
And, you know, one of the special touches, and if we have time, let me share a story. One of the special touches is Archie's Rock, which is just west of here, the first right-hand turn after the Star Lake turnoff, which is Little Star Lake. Archie Chenier, a retired school teacher from Timmins High, came to my office when I was located in City Hall. So I was fairly new in my job with the city of Timmins. And this older gentleman came in and knocked on my door, and he had a crusty envelope in tow, and he said, "Mr. Lamarche," and I looked up and I said, "Yeah, Mr. Lamarche is my father. He's not here. You can call me Guy, and who are you?" And he said, Archie Chenier. And, could you spare a minute? I'd love to talk to you. And of course, I invited the guy in and, had him sit. And he was dumbfounded because he had been turned away by every other office that he had gone to, including a lot of the media offices. He wanted to put Archie's Rock on the map because it's a phenomenal trip and a hike. And so I gave him the time of day, and I was very curious in terms of what he had in tow. And there were old crusty photos that really did no justice for anything. So I suggested to Archie, based on his busy schedule, let's hook up and let's go do a field trip. So you have a look at your calendar. Let me know what days are free for you. And of course, I was being, a little bit funny, if you will. And so he called me back, and we booked the trip in July, and we did the tour to Archie's Rock. And I'm going to tell you, on my way to Archie's Rock, I listened attentively to every trip this man had taken in his life. Every trip that one could possibly include on a bucket list, Archie Chenier had done. So at that point, I knew we've got to put some stock into what he is hoping will become Archie's Rock. And I went over there with him, and the rest is history. I promoted the hell out of this, and it became acceptable by the government of Ontario that it would now be recognized as Archie's Rock. There was a whole movement behind the promotion of this particular destination. And so it is known now provincially as Archie's Rock, testament to Archie Chenier. And my only regret is that I never met this guy earlier. A wealth of knowledge, well-traveled individual, and he got it. He understood the value of those gems. And God bless and rest in peace, Archie. Miss him all the time. I often think of him. And, we've gone out of our way. It's all been signed. I raised some money with the Matagami, the Wintergreen Fund, to ensure that it was properly signed. And now you have tons of tourists that'll go there annually to discover firsthand Archie's Rock. Something so simple.
Going on, school, field trips, seeing people saying that they're going there for the day. And, even I've been here just over 12 years, and, up until you put the stamp on the map for Archie's Rock, not too many people knew where this place was.
Nobody knew.
Because it was a hidden gem. There was no maps. There was no signs for it. And you've now, brought it to the forefront, probably shining down on us right now during this podcast. Good old Archie Chenier. If it wasn't for him, it's a hidden gem, and it certainly is a hidden gem.
Yeah, and again, to think that so many wanted nothing to do with this guy boggles my mind. Archie would tell me about his skiing trips where you would go up the mountain by helicopter and ski 8 hours straight, 22 miles down that mountain.
Wow.
Told me about the ski trips that he took with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the time that he skied with Teddy Kennedy. Like Archie Chenier, non-assuming, small, humbled individual, traveled the world. He was well-traveled and well-spoken.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think because Guy has such a wealth of knowledge about this community and is one of the leaders, we have to have him on at least every second week, right, Mark?
Well, you've got the free time, right? We're going to ask Mrs. Lamarche there if it's okay to come on and give us some insight, because you've got the wealth of knowledge in 41 years. You've got the playbook in your brain etched.
And you know what? This morning, it's funny because this morning, Nikki and I were out doing our daily walk, and a lady stopped me along the way and congratulated me on retirement, blah, 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 and said, after the pandemic, can we meet? We have a cottage, somewhere up on the road that leads people to High Falls. And High Falls now is being used so much by visitors to this community that we need to talk about snow plowing. It's not making any sense to have all these people come to High Falls and do so at their own peril because the road is not often plowed. So that was today. And I was happy to hear that many people are making use of High Falls summer as they are in the winter. So that was comforting to see.
Yeah, no.
And again, probably with the pandemic, more people are, out doing these hikes because we have to be socially distanced. It's can't get any better socially distanced than being outside and outdoors.
Exactly.
Especially during the card that we've been dealt. The pandemic is a 7-2 offsuit in a game of poker, but it's nice to see people turning them into, the pocket aces and, enjoying, what we have to offer up here in the North.
And I'll tell you, the silver lining to the pandemic is that a whole lot of us have discovered the value of a number of things that we've taken for granted all these years. Mm-hmm. And also another big takeaway that we are seeing from the pandemic is that whole new markets have opened up where outfitters thought, Michigan is my primary market. May look at London, Ontario differently tomorrow because of the number of people that came from the GTA last year when the provincial government opened up things somewhat.
The best part is when you mention that Timmins is we are a mining community, but we're more than just a mining community and trees. There is so much that this community can offer, and I really do think that the pandemic, if you can take a good point away from the pandemic, is people have come to an appreciation of some of the things that we do have here compared to what they have in the GTA.
And listen, let's not make any mistake here. 3 hours south of here lies another big mining camp, Sudbury, that's become much, much more than just mines today. I spent 8 weeks in Sudbury this summer, and I was blown away by the growth that Sudbury has seen over the years. And a lot of that growth is everything but mines. And so, you know what? When people say, Lamarche, get off the bandwagon, this is a mining camp and a hockey town. No, I'll call you out on that. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, thank you so much, Guy. I mean, we could probably do a 5-hour live with you. And
it would be awesome to have you on for 5 hours, but time flies when you're just trying to absorb everything that you have to offer. We would sit and listen to you all night long, and I'm guessing we could. It says, "Hello, Guy. This is from Connie. I hear you're doing an awesome job. I can't wait to visit home when this COVID is over. You steal so right about Timmins." I think it's you feel so right about Timmins.
Yeah, probably feel. And she's right. I'm very passionate. This is my hometown. This is where I grew up. This is where I've decided to make my life. My mother still lives here. This is where I met my wife. This is my town, and I'm proud to call it that.
It's awesome. Yeah. And we can tell. Well, thank you so much and everything that
Thanks
you've
for
done.
having me, guys, and good luck with your future podcasts.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Guy Lamarche, joining us here on the KINZ and KLOMP podcast. Thumbs up, Guy, and you're the voice and Mr. Timmins. We're getting all the comments coming in. They've you're a definite shoo-in for that. But thanks again for being our first guest in 2021 here.
I'm honored. Thanks.
All right. Pretty amazing guy, right?
Pretty amazing. And again, 41 years in this city. He's built the block, the starting stone for such an amazing 41-year career. The guy is just a wealth of knowledge, and such a pleasure to have on the KINZ and KLOMP podcast. And it's great to know that even in retirement, he hasn't decided to pull up the anchor and leave. He still calls Timmins home.
So we're going to bring on Mitch Wilson here soon. I got a question for you, and you know where I'm going with this. Are you superstitious?
Am I superstitious? I was, being a Leaf fan, but not anymore.
Okay. I'm going to show you something right here. As you already know, Kinsman, I'm a huge Buffalo Bills fan, and this has been our year, baby. Off to the AFC Championship game. But I'm very superstitious when it comes to sports, and I wear this shirt. Yes, this sweatshirt right here.
every single game because when I wear it, they win. And even though this thing is about, I don't know, 7, 8 years old, I got it from Old Navy for $9.99. It has rip, tears, paint stains, you name it. It's been washed a million times. I still wear it. Do you have any superstitions? Maybe an ugly Leafs jersey? Oh, wait, they're all ugly.
Okay, fair enough. But then you sent me this today out of nowhere.
Jamie, that's hilarious. I'm a Leaf fan, so I've tried all the superstitions, but a superstition that I want to try to crack is this. Look at the draw for the TADH Foundation's 50-50 draw for this month. Already over $149,000.
See, if I was superstitious, I would definitely be trying to figure out how to crack the code, when to pick up your tickets. I know a lot of people out there, buying their tickets the first day, the last day. I know the first draw for TADH, Jamie, superstitious, they picked up their ticket the first day when it was not even close to the 7,000 minimum for the draw.
There we go. Well, maybe this is our month. Okay, one last question before we bring on Mitch. I always ask it.
You always ask me this.
And you got to be honest. Every week I want more information.
We're going to continue along on this. This is going to be a rolling theme on KINZ and KLOMP.
There's nothing more manly than a guy asking another guy how he feels about his relationship. This is what happens, right?
Well, you're comfortable in yours. You and Terry have been together for a number of years now. So now you got to pick on us, myself and Mitch, right?
Right. So what can you tell us? Are things still going good, or are we falling off track?
No, things going good. Did the one step where guys usually get, a little bit paranoid in the relationship, especially in a new relationship, where you're thinking, is the place tidy enough if they were to come on over? And that's the stage. That's the updates. You're thinking, geez, I've never, haven't cleaned this in forever. It's one of those scenarios where let's just be honest. The female is a much cleaner species out of the human species than us males. That's right.
And my friend Brad here says he's beyond comfortable going on 22 years with the love of his life. And this is a story he often tells about me. It's back to the superstitions. Okay. I used to be a St. Louis Rams fan, and they lost the Super Bowl one year. And I got so angry, I tried to rip the jersey, but I wasn't strong enough to rip the jersey. And
you couldn't do the Hulk with your shirt, the jersey.
No, with these. Oh, where we go? There's the camera. No, with these arms, Kinsman. Okay, so you want to bring on Mitch? I know he's
on Mitch Wilson. Yes,
Wilson. All right.
Wow. So much stuff to start with. Yeah, Mark, here's the move. You clean up before she comes over, and then you tell her, oh, well, the place is a bit messy.
Well, here's the thing.
No matter what, you're getting a good, observation. Oh, you're self-aware the place is messy, but you just cleaned it,
Well, here's the thing. We as guys, I'm just going to say, I don't know if I'm speaking on behalf of all guys, but there's our clean and there's a female's clean. And it's never normally where the guy's clean is, right?
I'll add to that.
You're hoping you're like, please don't use the washroom when you come in here. Please just ignore the glob stains of toothpaste.
Mark, ladies always need to use the washroom. You absolutely need to clean that before anything else, I will say. Second of all, there's also tiers I've noticed as well. There's Mitchell's clean. There's my mom, Mary Ann's clean. And then her mother, Jerry's clean. And those are 3 different tiers of clean.
Especially when you get a phone call from mom and mom is on her way over. I'm going to be over in about 10, 15 minutes. And it's probably the most clean that you've ever, seen your place. And the mad dash clean. I think we've all been there where you've done everything in that 10-minute span. Mom wonders, why is your face, sweating profusely? Or, when you go to the door. Because
that's why I love my mom coming over. Forces me to clean my apartment.
There we go. Well, we already got one comment. They said this is a good move. So someone is your advice, Mitch. I talk.
It's lying. It's lying. Yeah, so I shouldn't condone it, but I have used that before as recently as this month. So moving swiftly on.
No, you're so right. It's not about how clean. If you're a respectable, good man, you're in. Well, that's right. That's absolutely
That's
right.
that's how I'm in now. I think I'm a respectable man, and she's a respectable young lady, and we've meshed. I think, as I was saying on the last podcast, we're basically the same person. So it's kind of like we actually like the same things, same food, same drinks. We're like, what do they call that cliche? 2 peas in a pod.
Right, but you do need to have a clean bathroom, a made bed, and no dirty dishes. From what I'm under.
Jose, I hit 3 of those for my last one.
At the minimum,
I agree.
Like there's clean, and then like again, Mitch is clean, or the guy's clean of the bathroom compared to, the clean of what the other half is, probably expecting. But then again, she's not judgmental, and so
here we go. I make my bed. Sorry, Mark. I make my bed every morning just for the dog, and love doing the dishes, going to help them. So I moved my bedroom into my main room. You can see my bed right there.
Okay.
And so before I could like close the door on the bedroom, I can't do that anymore. Now I have to walk in and see the filth that I've laid out for myself. So now I'm actually forced to make the bed, not just because there's a podcast going on and that's my backdrop, but
opposites do attract. That's Paul Abdul, right? Or did
they do? Yeah. That's from Tommy.
All right, Mitch, what's going on in your end of the city?
Oh, well, I'm not going to lie. Guy had me thinking a whole lot about Timmins, but maybe I'll circle back to that if we hit my notes first. So if you could pull up my screen here, we got the F5. Oh, no. The amateur hour over here. I got to share my window first. There we go.
That's all right. We had you waiting in queue for a few extra minutes, but just Guy has so many amazing stories about Timmins.
Oh, my God. Community. It was awesome. It was awesome. Let me know when you got us up here. Because I no longer, until I get my second monitor, I'm out of the loop about what is up and what is not.
You're up and ready.
So here we go. We got the observation deck, just some of my various notes from the week. First of all, I drink water like a cow. So a bit of backstory on this. We had goldfish in the tank of the cow, like cow water tank, and they eat the algae, right? So the goldfish are actually beneficial to have in there. But every now and then there'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, where's the 5th? Well, that's because cows go to the water tank. They drank about 30 to 50 liters at a time, if I'm not getting my stats wrong. Like they just go and they go, like you can hear it. It's a sound. It's an interesting sound. And they'd occasionally swallow a goldfish. I'm convinced. Either that or the goldfish jumped out, or maybe a cat hunted it. I don't know. I narrowed it down. So I noticed the other night, I don't drink water. Like my ex-girlfriend, I was with her for a long time. She'd have a water bottle with her at all times. She'd take it out, take a little lady sip, close the thing, put it by her side. When I drink water, I go to the tap, I fill up a thing, and then we do 500 milliliters to 1.5 liters at a time, and then revisit in 3 to 5 days when I need more. Right. I wanted to ask you guys, what's your water drinking? Like, what's it like? I know it's a very inane question, but
for me, it's probably 3 to 4 glasses a day, which is 50% of the minimum. I have one of those water things in the fridge, but I'll fill up a glass and drink it there.
Oh, you got the Brita.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, it's the thing. I'm doing it like what I'm doing, but you just click the glass into the fridge, and it is filtered. So yeah, 3 to 4 a day, but I don't sip it. I'm the same as you. I'll just drink the whole glass and then move on to my Pepsi or Budweiser.
That's it. About 3 to 4, probably the same for me there, Mitch. But it's funny. You always see the meme that always pops up, usually online. It says, it's such a struggle to drink the intake of water. But if someone offered you a pitcher of beer, it's down in like two seconds, right? On a bar night, a little bit different when it comes to the guzzling. But yeah, 3 to 4 probably. That would be a stretch. Probably don't drink enough water. I don't think any of us drink enough water in a day.
I think I actually do. That might be one of the health things I actually hit the stride on. That being said, I would drink beer like I drink water, but I can't. The fizziness in it prevents me from doing so.
Oh,
yeah, that was a period on that.
I don't know, man. Like to me, it's like I really love drinking water. I just find like the quantity they want you to drink is a little aggressive.
Well, that's why I go to the tap and I knock it back, and there's my liter, and now I only need like one more stop at the water fountain for the day, which is what cows do. They don't hang around their water cooler. They head out to the field, they do their thing, and then when they need it, they come back to the water thing and then drink 30 liters.
Right.
Next point, my buddy this week, he said he couldn't hang out. We were gonna go like hang out on the phone for a bit. He says, wife wants to watch Harry Potter. And I said, how many times have you seen that, brother? He says about 3, which isn't that bad relatively. But I was wondering a bunch of questions with this. First and foremost, how many times do you revisit your favorite stuff?
Oh, me, it's easy. It's The Office. This is like once a week. I'll at least watch 3 or 4 episodes of The Office.
But that's 10 seasons. Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's at least like 50, 60 hours of television, correct?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
At least.
Right.
So it's a bit different than Harry Potter.
Well, it depends. Like, are you going back and watching the series? Are you reading all the books? It depends, because there's a lot of Harry Potter content also.
I think they were watching Goblet of Fire this particular evening.
I've never even seen
that. Makes a difference. So Terry's not a big Harry Potter lady?
She is, but she's more up to Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That's her big one she's watching now, and I've sort of been stuck on that, believe it or not. But for me, if I have a go-to show, I'm going to watch that religiously. So
you're a rewatcher. You're a rewatcher.
The comfort zone.
Mark, how about you?
For me, it would have to be up until they took it off Netflix, because I think Showcase is getting set for the new Dexter this fall. It would be Dexter. I've watched Dexter through probably two times now, and finding up some old episodes online because they're now gearing up for Showcase and the restart of Dexter when it comes back. That's usually the go-to. I like I guess can you call Dexter a dark show? Even though he puts
serial killers, yeah, I think so.
Well, yeah. Dark content, as they say, he's the most lovable serial killer on the planet, right? But no, that's usually the go-to. If an episode's on there, I'm going to stop and watch a Dexter episode.
Yeah. So we got Animal Kingdom from Danielle, and Connie says Star Trek. So those are 2 other great choices.
And I think that's just it. We all have our things to rewatch. I got The Simpsons, for example. I recently got a Disney Plus subscription, and as we've talked about plenty of times in the show, I live here by myself. There's no one else to enjoy my Disney Plus with me. So I got no kids to show the princess movies to, or nothing like that. But just for The Simpsons, that means $9 a month to me. I owned all the DVDs as a kid, but now in the 21st century, I don't own a DVD player. So we have to. Plus, I lost discs. I was a child when I was collecting those. Anyways, I had some interesting thoughts about this. Like, okay, so Harry Potter, I think that's more of a woman thing. Like, I really do. And I did research on this because I was like, wait, I don't want to be accused of being sexist. So Reddit, if you guys are familiar with this platform, this is a heavily male platform. Heavily male. Lots of neckbeards. And no, Harry Potter Reddit, according to the demographics of the threads I looked over, so this ain't a scientific study, but lots of ladies on there as well. And then I thought, but this isn't a dude thing, like we just established. Everyone loves rewatching their specific things. So I said, oh, Star Wars, that's the dude thing. Like, you know how many dudes I've met just here in Timmins since getting here? They're like, oh, Mitch, have you seen Star Wars? I actually have not. And then I always blame that on my dad not liking Star Wars.
I think it depends on the dude you're hanging around. Like, not everyone's a big Star Wars fan. I am. I'm more of a Luke Skywalker guy. But Andrew says the kids draws him into Harry Potter. He took the kids to Hogwarts in England. That's pretty cool. But he likes Vikings. That's another amazing show.
Oh, interesting. Never seen it.
Shameless. Shameless is another good one. Another binge-worthy one.
That's 18 plus.
and Chantel, The Office, and Modern Family.
Modern Family, yes.
Yeah. Oh, Modern Family's great. Yeah.
But here's a shocker for you two. I have not seen one episode of the Game of Thrones.
Neither. Oh, okay. So let me empathize for a minute here because I felt the same way. The last one I have here is I'll finish up the point. Obviously, lots of dudes like Harry Potter, lots of dudes like Star Wars. I got to say that because it's the 21st century. So people will accuse me of pigeonholing like entire genders as if I'm a person who sits here. No. Only women like Harry Potter. No. That's not my point. I'm just saying it is more of a woman thing. And Star Wars is more of a dude thing, for example. Lots of people on both sides. Lord of the Rings, I feel like that one is kind of split down the middle in terms of fandoms. Go both ways. But, excuse me. This is bad podcast etiquette. Remind me, because I wanted to circle back. What was the thing we were just talking about?
Well, hold on a sec. We got a couple more comments on the shows. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, absolutely a classic. It's off Netflix. I didn't know that. That's disappointing.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, Prince, can't go wrong with good old Will Smith. Good series, and they just brought that back now, right? The reunion.
Well, they had the reunion off, right? And they're supposed to be a drama series based off of the Fresh Prince formula. Connie, another vote for Viking
Prince. That'd be different. That'd be very different.
Prince. Janice has not seen one episode of Harry Potter. I'm with you there. Brad, me either, Mark. I refuse to even watch that show. My wife has tried many times to watch that, and it's a no-go. And Mark's friend, all right. Bruce, Star Wars is terrible. I never liked Ronald Reagan. Okay, yeah, I get it. That's it.
All right. So here's the thing with Game of Thrones, because I lived a very similar experience for a while. It was like, oh, we should watch Game of Thrones. Me and the ex-partner there, and so she would be like, hey, I've heard it's a good thing, and I'm like, I'm not into dragons and swords and stuff, not my thing. Right. Watched one episode, hooked, absolutely hooked. One of my favorite TV shows of all time, up until the 6th season, somewhere halfway in between, at which point they ran out of source material and decided to do their own thing. At which point it was a disaster. But I even though the end of the show sucks, I still maintain the two of you should go check out that show. It is one of the best written TV shows of all time.
And looking online there, Albert Seal says he's never watched an episode of Walking Dead, but during pandemic, he's watched all seasons, all cut up. Albert, one of our top realtors here in the city. Thanks for tuning in, Albert.
All right.
So what else is going on, Mitch?
All right. We got this week, I was in the Tim Hortons drive-thru, as we all are want to be in Northern Ontario. And Chevy Cavalier was in front of me, reminding me, Mark, of your old car. I was wondering if you might pontificate on that for a moment. The car that just recently went to bed 6 months ago.
That was the old Corolla. Had like 800,000 kilometers on it.
Oh, what a wicked car, man! Like, I mean it. That's like 107-year-old grandma, 107-year-old grandma passing away peacefully in her sleep, right? 800,000? Are you serious?
800,000 kilometers. It would still turn over even in a Timmins winter, minus 40, even the minus 60s with the wind chills. When it got to that a few years ago, it would still crank up. Never had a block heater. Start up on one crank.
You didn't have a block heater?
Didn't even have a block heater on it. No.
Good.
It would start religiously every single day. When people got into it, it wasn't quite, as they call it, the lady magnet, it's like someone said it smelled like an old boathouse.
Right. I used to have a Pontiac Acadian, 1986, had 300,000 kilometers, but one oil change in it, and that thing always started too. So I love that.
One oil change. it was the one that they said we're going to toss this into the deal, and you never took care of it since.
Yeah, that's right.
First vehicle was a 99 Tacoma. It was a hand-me-down from my dad, so you get the there's a privilege in that, right? I didn't have to buy it, but it was a 99 Tacoma, and then eventually my dad was looking it up online, scrolling down wherever it came up. Turns out there was a structural flaw in the frame, and so there was a recall. And at the time, he was trying to sell it, and it was like, I think it was up for $800 on Kijiji. Some guy sent a offer in. It's like, oh, I'll give you $600. This recall got like $7,000 for this 99 Tacoma with 300,000+ kilometers on it. Toyotas are the best for just rolling along. All right, but Cavalier in the drive-thru. I'll get to that little note, but Cavalier in the drive-thru. Wow, man, Chevy Cavalier. I can't remember the last year they made those. What was that? 2007. Something of the sort.
Around there, 07, maybe early 08, they started to fizzle out.
One of my friends had one of those in high school. We would rip around in those. But I was behind one of those in the drive-thru the other day, and it's the equivalent of being behind someone in the store if they farted. Like if they let out a very bad fart.
Okay.
While you're in the store, like I was sitting there. It's like, oh, I smell exhaust. I wonder what this could be. But that would be the Chevy Cavalier, my friend. As we wait for the guy to get his
weird analogies from Mitch tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely. Well, this is why it's called the observation deck. And then finally, I have my window of coffee drinkability. This changes from person to person, but
okay.
So, for example, my mom can order a tea from Tim Hortons. She's more of a tea person, besides first thing in the morning, and she'll get her tea and then she'll just open it up. The person will pass it to her. She'll open it up, take a sip, which is just insane unless you want to burn your tongue. I wonder how she earned a tongue like that. And but no, for me, there's about 20 minutes of too hot, about 20 minutes of hot, and then after that, 20 minutes of warm. But when the hour's up, your coffee's done. What do you guys think?
I'm a big coffee guy, like big time. So I'm about 5 to 6 coffees a day. I like anything that improves the coffee process. I'm all in. So if you're talking about improving the time, improving the formula, improving the fastness it gets to my hands, I buy these stories, and I'll give you a thumbs up. Kinsman?
Well, for the coffees, yeah, I'm obviously an avid drinker, working with, the early mornings for the past decade here in the city. Coffee is just a staple. I think I was, maybe 3 deep by 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. But anyhow, yeah, a good coffee for me. I know a lot of them have gone to the grinding of the bean. I think Tim Hortons has started to do that now, which, the coffee has, considerably tasted different in a better sense of the word. And, thumbs up to McDonald's too. I still like to, take the detours and try different coffees. I know A&W's got some great coffee here in the city. Yeah. Country style. Who knew that we had a country style in the city? Do you guys know where the country style is?
Yeah, it used to be out by Porcupine here. Right?
No. The Petro Canada at the corner, right across from the Senator. There's still a country style drive-through of all places, and that coffee is still, one of the tastier ones. When the lineups are long, I kind of forget that that's there.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing.
For coffee.
With the country style, I come out from Eastern Ontario. A lot more country styles. Here's the thing that I always noticed. Every now and then there'd be a country style that actually serves you. For example, for this is so niche. Highway 43, right as you come into Kemptville, Ontario. Country style with a full service gas station, which is also rare, and the country style that serves you. But for the most part, country style existed as a part of a convenience store where you serve yourself. And they have this for Tim Hortons too, like on the runs. Like you go in, you pour your own coffee, and it costs the same price. And I'm always like, you know what? I'd rather someone mix my coffee for me for the same price than me having to mix it myself. What do you guys think?
Never mix it properly, right? Every time it just tastes a little off. And I do believe they change just one, hint of the ingredients. So we go back to, buying the coffee at the actual place, right?
So Terry Lynn loves coffee. She can drink a dozen extra large coffees a day, but never hot. She can also, I can also make a coffee last. Okay, so she takes her time. I don't take my time with my coffee. I drink it right down. Besides, the Bulk Barn used to be one. So this is back to coffee time. Was there a Bulk Barn?
I think it's country style or coffee time. Anyhow, it's they've got one of the best fritters there. I know they. The last time I went through there, he's like, "Do you want your coffee with, this apple fritter that they had?" And I'm like, "Wow, one of the tastier treats."
Yeah. So Lisa asked, "Who is Mitch?" And Danielle had the best answer. One of our amazing past but current announcers on the KINZ and KLOMP show here in Timmins. Absolutely.
Got me blushing, Danielle.
There you go.
We unemployed Mitch stick together. So when we both hit the curb, we said we got to pick up Mitch and bring him in here somehow to the podcast.
Yeah,
so
and now you're hanging out with a guy that works from home. So I don't know how much I'm boosting your employment chances.
I should steer out of this as if everything went smoothly, but no, you guys totally missed the point of my graph here. Like, you guys see my screen, right? This is a wait, you don't see my screen? Well, then no wonder.
Now we do. Here we go.
You're still on the Chevy Cavalier screen. Oh, with the window coffee.
Yeah, there we go. We got the too hot, we got the hot, we got the warm, and that's 1 hour of time right there. I was hoping it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry. It's not your fault. It's my fault.
Everything from warm to too hot, I'll drink.
Yeah, me too. But that's only an hour. Make sure you bring your Yeti if you want that to last longer than that. But yeah, no, that had to do with my comment at the start over here. If you can see my cursor with the too hot section, my mom will drink the coffee in the too hot section, and I don't understand how she does it. She must be a lizard person.
All right. Look, there was a country style beside the Porcupine in Porcupine.
Oh, was there? Okay.
You Timmins people don't get everything, you know.
All right.
We get stuff here.
Jamie, I'm going way over time. I'm not sure if we allotted like 10 minutes. I think we're already well past there. So I got the Gillies Square. This is a study in architectural abomination. I spend a lot of time walking around Gillies. I love this place, man. Right here, if you can see my cursor. Jamie, can you see my cursor?
I can see the cursor.
No. Yeah, so right here, I took my first yard sale of the year on the first snowfall because I usually take the shortcut down here in the summer. And there was like an inch of snow or less, like, you know, just a light smattering, but that's such a steep hill. Thankfully there was a lady right below to witness it all. So it wasn't for nothing. But yeah, no. So Gillies Lake, I noticed an abomination along this skyline because it's kind of perfect. I call this Upper Gillies. This is Upper Lakeshore right here. And it's kind of where I live, the neighborhood. Then you go on. You hit up, there's the conservation, or sorry, the lake or beach. Beach is on the other side there. Bunch of residential. This is the head frame view, I call it, because my camera's garbage. You can barely see the head frame, but it's right there. And then we got the commercial district with some mining stuff. And then here comes the abomination on this perfect skyline of Gillies Lake. All of a sudden, there's this thing. What the actual heck? Just a big square thing. They never turn their lights off, by the way. So at 3 a.m, you still see these lights. It cuts into the skyline like potholes on Algonquin. And it is just disgusting. Take note. And I love everyone who works there, by the way. And I'm not trying to throw shade. You guys do good work. You live good, honest lives and everything like that. I'm strictly critiquing art here. And the architecture of whoever decided to throw this thing up is just atrocious. Man, oh man. And then here's the next one, by contrast, by the way, with the church steeple and stuff. Yeah. And this is all taken at the same time. Just one side had the sunset, one side didn't. But there's my Timmins architecture observation of the week. Moving swiftly on to headlines. Do we got time for this, Jamie?
Yeah, let's hear them.
All right, here we go. Headlines. We're only doing 2 this week, but woman mistakes poppers for candy, burns mouth and cracks tooth after eating some. Lisa Boothroyd said she bought a box of Fun Snaps from a local store where it was stored near various candy items. Southwest News Service reports. According to her, the product's placements in the store and the design of the box led her to believe that the Fun Snaps were candies. Instead, she had actually bought a box of novelty noisemakers. When she tried to eat a handful, didn't even go for one. However, she quickly realized her mistake. According to Southwest News Service, Boothroyd suffered chemical burns to her lips and gums and also cracked one of her teeth. Fortunately, she says she didn't lose any teeth. According to Southwest News Service, Fun Snaps are tiny fireworks that are made with sand or gravel. They're combined with small amounts of silver fulminate and are twisted inside paper. When thrown against a hard surface, they make a pop, which is why they're often referred to as poppers or snappers. First question, y'all ever mess with these as teenagers and or kids?
Yes, and this is an absolutely crazy story you have here.
It sure is.
Absolutely crazy, yes. I used to love these things, but your tolerance for things as you get older declines. And this would be one of them.
Well, okay, but tolerance for what exactly? Like for people being goons and throwing these things around? Because this one to me reeks of another one of those stories where someone's looking for a little bit of cash off the legal system and suing and stuff like that.
Right.
Like you don't mistake these. Like I got on the next slide. Boom. There's Fun Snaps right there.
Oh, she thought they were Pop Rocks. That's what I thought they were too.
Yeah, no. And she didn't think they were Pop Rocks. Look at them. Would you think that's a candy?
Fun. No, those are No,
yeah,
but
throw them. Step on them.
Look like Hershey's Kisses or something.
Yeah, if you're dumb, like, oh, this looks vaguely like a candy, I'm gonna eat it. Congratulations, sir. That was rat poison. Like I don't understand. Like I had some experience with these in high school. My buddy brought some back from the States. I'm not even sure we sell them here in Canada, but he had a couple packs with them. And this was probably the gooniest thing I did in high school. I'd go down the hallways and they just kind of casually toss one to the side as you walk by, and then they pop. And it's not a big pop. It's not a gunshot. It's just a little. And
we have a comment. What do you think about this? Popper toilet seat pranks is the all-time original classic. Agreed. Gives your friends a bowel movement every time.
Okay, that's a good comment and also a good prank. Yeah, so this is long well known. And as if I go back, you see this lady, not a young lady,
Sure.
she's getting up there in age, so she's experienced these in her lifetime. And this is a clear cash grab, right?
It could be.
So, I broke my tooth. I got chemical burns on my lip. You made me think it was Pop Rocks. I'm going to sue you, right? That's the next step of this, right?
It could be. I mean, people sue for everything.
Okay.
So
I was walking, speaking of Gillies, like I'll circle it back. I was walking along there and the other week, this is one of the dumbest things I've ever done. There was like some green glow in the snow and I kicked at it and the green glow didn't really go away. And I was like, oh man. But then I was walking with a friend and I said, look. Oh my God. The green glow doesn't go away. She says, Mitchell, that's a Christmas decoration. Like one of those like laser lights. Like, yeah, that's
right.
One of them is making it out onto the path. And I didn't think it was like aliens or nothing. I said, oh, someone poured a glow stick here. That was going on. So we all have our dumb moments. That could be this as well. Moving swiftly on to the carnapping, but no kidnapping. Come on. I have standards. Oregon police are looking for a man who say they stole a car with a child in the back seat. The carjacking took place outside of a grocery store in Beaverton, Oregon on Saturday, which is interesting. Beaverton obviously being the name of the satire website in Canada here. When the mom left the car running with the child in the back seat, local authorities said. The mother left the car unlocked and went inside to buy a gallon of milk and some meat. The thief happened to walk by and hopped in the car. He soon realized the 4-year-old was in the back seat and U-turned in the parking lot, returning the child to the mother, but not without scolding her, according to Beaverton police. Quote, he actually lectured the mother for leaving the child in the car and threatened to call the police on her. The Beaverton police spokesman, Officer Matt Henderson, told the Oregonian. The thief ordered the mom to take the child before driving off in the stolen car. Quote, obviously, we're thankful he brought the little one back and had the decency to do that. Now, that's one of those situations. It's all relative. So you're getting your car stolen, but also your kid. So you get the kid back and you're thankful because the kid obviously means a lot more than the car. Right. But this guy's still a scumbag. I don't understand how, but in his mind, his personal math did the thing. He's like, you're a bad person. You're a bad person. You left the kid in your car with your car running. Now, excuse me while I take your Toyota Sierra for a drive forever.
I don't know. Like it's the bad doing bad. I guess it's all in perspective. We're happy that everyone came out safely. But I guess if a thief is giving you a perspective of what your morals should be, that's where the story bends a little bit for me.
The car, Jamie.
Bends just a little bit.
The kid wouldn't have been in danger if you didn't hop in the car and skirt.
All right. I love it, Mitch. I don't know where you find these stories, but you always seem to find a couple golden ones.
Always do. Like I promised, only two. Where do you put this guy? This carnapper who returned the child. Where do you put him on this chart? You've heard of this chart, right?
Yes. Lawful evil.
Lawful evil. Okay, that
chaotic evil. No, yeah, lawful evil probably.
I think you're right. I didn't even think about this before. Now I think Jamie's exactly right. Mark, you seconding that and me thirding it. So
Connie says a scumbag with morals.
Yeah, a scumbag with morals. Connie, that's a great summation.
All right.
On to the meme gallery, folks. I hope you get a couple laughs out of these.
Oh, yeah.
Way too, what do you call it? Millennial? Like, I don't really know. But here we go. We'll try. So this is millennials. You ever get everyone's got the kids and stuff here. This is something I'm insufferable at. I can't not put an LOL at the end of my text. It could be a serious thing, could be a whatever. And this one really hit home.
Right.
You got this with your kids? Like,
my dad LOLs me
all the time, or just like every kind of time?
Sometimes when my mom was around, she used to write. She thought she was spelling love, but it'd be LOL. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. LOL.
Fair enough. On to the next one, we got how Tim Hortons prepares your food. I don't think this one's fair, but at the same time, you can't help but laugh. We've all gotten this.
Where it's not stirred when you drive away?
No. You guys, oh man, do I have to explain it? If I have to explain everyone, we're not doing this thing.
No.
She's got a blindfold on.
Yes, we get it. We get it.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Drake's haircut for his new album Certified Lover Boy, which is going to be coming out soon, apparently this month.
Pretty sharp.
What do you mean pretty sharp? Are you kidding me? No, it's Drake's haircut already ruined 2021. I agree. What's he doing? He's got bangs, dude. He's got bangs, and he shaved a heart in the side of his head for an album called Certified Lover Boy. And I'm a Drake fan. I like Drake. Everything about this is cringy. This is the worst thing of all time. And then I don't go this far, but my buddy tossed in, and for the people who are in on the joke, you'll enjoy this one. My buddy says, "Why groom your hair when you can groom Millie?"
Right.
Moving swiftly. We've been having a lot of talk on martial law, so seeing this one yesterday, keeping on the rappers theme, was enjoyable to me.
Yeah.
And moving on to a straight up, this is such a Zoomer meme. I want to see how far you guys enjoy this one, or if it's not at all.
She calls you daddy instead of Mr. You know what? I don't even get that one.
There's nothing to get, dude. This is Zoomer memes in a nutshell. So people even younger than me. It's basically just absurd stuff all the time, and that's what this is. Don't try too hard to get it if you don't. There's Archie's Rock. I threw this one in. I was out there with my dad. Really loved Marsh talking about this because, man, what a place! What a place! I really loved it. It's not the best angle to show off the Rock, but again, like most of these things, you really got to go there in person to see it. And the Star Lake and Little Star Lake Road will mess you up, by the way, if you've never been there before.
Is it not heavily signed, or is it? It's got a few signs there now.
Well, just like directions to there. There's a Star Lake and there's a Little Star Lake, and they're completely different. They're not side by side. I mean, they kind of are, but they're kilometers apart. So it's like take a right on Star Lake Road, and you're like, okay. But no, it's the next one you're supposed to take, not the Little Star Lake. That's inaccurate information. Look that up.
All right.
More Tim stuff we got. But no, this is the end. Just a nice pic I snapped over at Hersey today that killed my phone, which I was complaining about. But I'd say it was worth it. And with that, I will say this is the day the Lord has made. Go out, be great in it. You know that. Be safe, be kind, be strong. And
all right,
that's my segment.
But I got a better message. It's time to give away. It's time to give away an ice scraper.
It is. Here it is.
Oh.
It is time to give away an ice. Now, here's how we're going to do it. I have a list of names of people that subscribe to our YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. I want Mark for you to give me a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You give me a number between 1 and 10. Those are some of the people that subscribe today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number right now, I'll say number 5, right in the middle.
Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is Scott Raymond.
Oh, yes. From Concord.
There you go. That's a name I recognize, dude.
All right. So do you know how to get a hold of Scott?
I will get in touch with Scott, and if we have to, we can, put it on an Ontario Northland the next time it heads up there. Scotty, or the next time you're in Timmins, we'll get it to you safely. But it's funny. Scott mentioned that he was going to subscribe, and I said, "Hey, we're giving away an ice scraper tonight," and look at that. He's number 5.
Well, thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone, for subscribing, and we'll see you guys Tuesday.
All right, Tuesday,
guys.